I see something. Alright, beneath the ashen horizon. Disapproved. Okay. Woo! Problems are over. Before we begin, understand this. Your choices matter, their consequences are real, and they leave marks on the story, on the people in it, and eventually on you. Yes, this is much more compelling than colored squares. Authority. I'll respect those choices to a point. But I've spent an eternity writing this, so occasionally I'll need things to go a certain way. Try not to take it personally. I do it to everyone. Alright, can't keep up the serious voice any longer. Trust the rails, and I promise you a hell of a ride. Alright, we believe in you, author. You ready? Pick up your dice. I've been waiting way too long for this. Way too long. Alright, Celestial Return, Book 1, Chasing Smoke. Blood Red Rose. There we go, now the typing makes sense. Can you see the words now? Can you see them? It's okay, this is why I read ya. Every story starts somewhere. This one starts 6 floors beneath daylight with the grinding whisper of an old elevator heading nowhere good. Fluorescent light bleaches the cramped metal box. The air tastes like wet concrete. Howard leans against the shuddering wall, cigarette dangling from chapped lips. His knuckle drags beneath his left eye. Again, like scratching at something that never quite heals. Alright, we could crack a joke, flick the ash, close our eyes, and stare into the void. You know what? Let's flick the ash. It's getting a little long. Watch it fall to the caged floor. The ember drifts into the dark like it's got somewhere better to be. Howard tracks it until it vanishes. Around him, PID troopers stand tense. Faces hidden behind visors, fingers locked stiff around their rifles. Neural archive sync complete. The PID. One of the troopers checks his environmental sensor for the 5th time. Howard stopped learning rookie names years ago. Most of them were dead before he memorized them. For now, this one was Trooper FNG. Sir, I don't. The readings keep resetting. It's there, then gone, then it's somewhere else. What if there's more than one down there? What if it's a whole pack? Tell him to calm down. Don't matter. Going down anyway, and welcome to abstract hunting. Alright, that's a little bit the cool guy line. But let's hit in a little bit of the nihilist. Don't matter. Going down anyway. But sir, if we're jumping into a nest. An abstract isn't an animal, kid. Doesn't have a nest. Doesn't give a damn about territory. Neural archive sync complete. Abstracts. Yeah, I guess we could read some of these, you know. What do we got going on? Are we insights? Oh wait, archive. Alright, the PID, Paranormal Investigation Division, is a specialized state agency established to investigate, contain, and neutralize abstracts. It was formed when the initial manifestations overwhelmed conventional police and military forces, also a place where Howard once served. Alright, abstracts are anomalous entities that blur the boundaries between imagination and objective reality. Often appearing as manifested concepts or localized disruptions of physical law, they can spontaneously appear anywhere, defying conventional scientific explanation. Their arrival sparked global fear and led to the formation of the Paranormal Investigation Division. Alright, here's us, Detective Howard. Once a musician, soldier, and PID agent, now a paranormal anomaly detective. Intelligent yet grappling with anger issues, sometimes surprisingly foolish, but always ready for trouble. He spends most nights at the Crow Jazz Bar despite repeatedly failing to charm the bartender. His most trusted friend is a talking... I don't know what that character is. We'll get to that later. I don't need to know. We'll get to it later. Alright, there our elevator goes. Somewhere far below, a gunshot cracks. Faint, then another. The sound spirals up the shaft like a warning. Kyrie, comms. Alpha's gone dark. Abstract activity confirmed. Assume the worst and proceed with containment. Every few seconds, the floor counter ticks down. Level 15. A burst of automatic fire erupts below. Level 16. Trooper FNG checks his sensor again. His hand is shaking now. Level 17. Howard, status. Descending, not dead yet. Level 18, no contact. Let's go with 18 down and still no welcome party. We'll give him one cool guy line, you know? Delta Squad, report. Containment failed. It's moving through between the... Blah! Why is it protecting them? What the hell is... The line dies. Howard exhales a slow breath. Delta, respond. Silence. The elevator keeps sinking. Level 23. That's 2 squads down. 24. 25. Scorched Earth unit moving in. 26. Gamma, your objective has changed. Containment is no longer a priority. Someone's having a bad day in ops. At least we already have our cigarette. Ooh. Alright, copy that. Elimination authorized. No asset recovery. No exceptions. Burn everything. Kyrie's voice shatters through the earpiece. A raw, uncontrolled rage Howard's never heard. She doesn't lose control until now. That should matter. Would have before the meds. Now the pills dull it all. The fear, the instincts, the ghosts in his head. He wonders sometimes if he still needs them, especially on days like this. Then, the familiar numbness whispers back. Alive is enough. The elevator jolts to a halt. The heavy steel doors screech open. A wave of stench floods in. Coppery blood, wet soil, and... roses? It smells like a summer garden. A honeyed, sun-warmed sweetness that cuts through the slaughterhouse reek. Backups here? Let's burn this garden! Same shit, different day. Worst garden party ever. Alright. Sure, let's just drop a solid. Backups here. Howard steps out, rifle up. The squad follows close behind. His flashlight spears the darkness, illuminating a graveyard of corporate sin. Desks, toppled chairs, shattered monitors, keyboards buried beneath avalanches of paperwork, whiteboards smeared with half-erased equations and frantic red marker. Alright, every challenge has 4 slots. Toss in 1 to 4 dice. More dice, bigger shot at hitting that sweet success range. Alright, for each die, roll 2 custom d4s. Add them up. Roll a 1 and a 2, that's a 3, baby! Not great, not terrible. Roll 0 plus 0, blame the universe. Slapping down 4 dice, big brain energy, but heads up, these ain't your grandma's board game dice. Zeros can still nuke your total, so stacking them doesn't mean auto win. High risk, higher glory. Dice vanish after you roll. Use them, lose them, run out, automatic fails, detective. Farm dice by exploring, finishing jobs, and poking your nose where it probably doesn't belong. Hoard like a loot gremlin. Future missions will try to murder you. Save those dice. Embrace the chaos. Sometimes you gotta yeet 4 dice and pray to the void. Alright, got it. Alright. We can inspect the whiteboards and use a dice. We can check the desks and use a dice. We can run towards the gunfire, or we can activate our boost. Sure, let's do the inspect the whiteboard since it's easy peasy and only costs 1 dice. Okay, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So let's let's put him in here. And roll. Yay! Howard's flashlight tracks a messy diagram of arrows and erased text under the header. When did they first appear? Where? The Black Star incident? Foundation. No explanation follows. Let me scoot that over on there. Another note has been circled 3 times in red marker. Can they return? The corporate sticker is slapped over the corner, handwritten across it. The fact that these things can be killed with human-made bullets makes them just as fragile as we are. It's a comforting thought for a man with holding a rifle. We could check the desks for 2. Here, we'll activate our boost. Howard blinks. The implant kicks in with a low throb behind his temple. He sweeps the room, scanning every mundane piece of trash, searching for anomalous matter hiding in plain sight. No detection markers appear. The room is clean. Whatever's chewing through the other squads, it's waiting on the other side of that door. Alright, let's do it to it. Howard bursts through the doorway, leading his squad out of the metal corridor and straight into a massive greenhouse of shattered glass and blood-soaked soil. Before he can even sweep the room, his spectral sight goes haywire. Hundreds of green detection boxes multiply and overlap until his vision drowns in target markers. Crimson roses choke the entire greenhouse, their petals curled like fists around pale human faces, sleeping peacefully in the middle of the carnage. What the hell happened here? Are they actually sleeping? We were never supposed to see this. That seems accurate. And great, a fucking rose massacre. I like this one down here. He's just like, whoo! He doesn't even have his petals. He's just a little guy. Whoo! Let's go with we were never supposed to see this. 2 years hunting abstracts for the PID. He's seen things phase through walls, heard screams that liquefy bone, watched creatures bleed light instead of blood. Never this. 2 years of service, short stretch by any measure, except the PIDs. The division didn't exist before the first abstracts appeared, which makes Howard, by default or by bad luck, the most experienced field agent still standing. Now, watching his sight drown in green ghosts, more than he could ever shoot, let alone understand, a cold thought settles. This might be the last day he holds that title. A scream rips through the air. Howard turns. His spectral sight zooms, reframes, and locks on something much bigger. Flying, shredding through a trooper mid-reload. What the hell am I looking at? Let's go. Target incoming. Look up. And please tell me we have a plan for that. I don't think you planned for this. Moonface! Someone yells over comms. It drops from the ceiling like a dying god. Limbs stretched wide, shielding the roses. Its body crackles with twitching nerves, leaking dark ichor. Leave my roses! The trooper panics and fires. The bullet tears a small hole through its side. It doesn't flinch. Don't touch them, please. I'll do anything. Just don't wake them. They're all that matters. Movement slow. Every breath feels like a decision. Howard raises his rifle, his squad mirroring the motion. One wrong move ends everything. Alright, open fire, aim for the limbs, buy time. Negotiate, it speaks, use that. It is hard. But I mean, we can do it. I would prefer to negotiate. It seems willing to negotiate. All right, hold the line, don't engage, wait for the scorched earth unit. Let's negotiate. I feel like negotiating will buy more time than trying to open fire on it. So sure, let's pick you, you, and you. Alright, let's go! Oh, we did get a 0 in there, but alright, we do succeed though. Alright. Howard lowers his rifle just an inch, rounding the squad with a voice that refuses to gamble with their lives. Hold your fire. Stand down. Moonface freezes. The thrashing, nerve-lined limbs go completely still over the garden. It locks its gaze onto him. It's listening. Here, yeah. What happens if they wake up? They forget. The stars, the garden, the reason we came. He doesn't get to say anything else. Behind Howard, the roar of the flamethrowers grows louder. Sudden heat licks the back of his neck. Moonface looks past Howard, straight into the advancing glare of the flames. Its ruined face shifts into something like grief. No! 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 Wait, please don't. They're not ready. Don't hurt them! The flames don't listen. The inferno rolls across the greenhouse. Petals blacken. Pale faces writhe in silent screams before collapsing into ash. Moonface screeches. A sound that shatters glass then sanity. It implodes, spilling thick, iridescent black sludge. Gamma, evacuate now! Move your asses! Howard, please tell me you're clear. Yeah, this doesn't feel over. Ash begins to fall as the greenhouse becomes a furnace. Around Howard, troopers scramble for the exit. He turns to follow, then stops. A sudden weight hits his spine, like being watched or remembered. He glances back. His spectral sight detects a single pulse beneath the ash, buried near Moonface's remains. He kneels, brushing the soot away with shaking fingers. A single rose unscorched. Its eyes are still closed. A wet rattle rises from the sludge nearby. Moonface's ruined mouth moves one last time. The stars. Remember. You know, we tried to negotiate. We ended up buying a little bit too much time with that. So let's apologize. We weren't very good at negotiating there, it turned out. So yeah, whisper, I'm sorry, and take it. Howard's fingers close around the stem. He tucks the rose into his breast pocket, careful as arming a bomb. The anomaly nuzzles against his heartbeat, sighing as a strange warmth blooms against his ribs. He walks away without looking back. Behind him, the greenhouse groans and collapses. Glass, steel, ash, and unanswered questions fall into final darkness. New quest unlocked. The one you saved. 3 years later. Smoking whiskey. Location, Crow Jazz Bar. Howard sits alone at the counter in the Crow Jazz Bar, a refuge for those who've given up trying to keep pace with the city outside. The faint glow of neon signs outside filters through the blinds, painting fractured light onto the bar's worn surface. His whiskey sits untouched, a faint ring of condensation beneath it. His eyes stay fixed on the TV above as it broadcasts the evening news. In suicides across Nethervale, authorities remain. Numbers continue to climb. The low volume of the television leaves the words muddled, forcing Howard to strain to catch every detail. Ask the bartender to turn up the volume. Stand up and adjust the volume yourself. Move closer to the TV to catch every word. Here, well, it mentioned before that he was trying to woo the bartender. So you know what? Let's open up some dialogue with the bartender. Howard gestures to the bartender. She glances at the screen, gives a small nod, and reaches for the remote. The newscaster's voice grows clearer. The community is in uproar, demanding transparency from law enforcement. What is driving this sudden epidemic of suicides? Who will step forward to shed light on these tragedies? The bartender stops wiping the glass. She folds her arms and watches the screen for a moment before turning to Howard. All right, the bartender. It's been like this for weeks now. Feels like the whole city's fallen apart. We got the hey! Which would cost us 4 dice. Let's see. Yeah, you hear anything about those suicides? Any rumors going around? The bartender hesitates. She glances around the bar as if checking for eavesdroppers, even though it's practically empty. People are saying it's the abstracts, like maybe they're behind it somehow. Howard's gaze doesn't leave his glass, his tone carrying weight. Thought we weren't supposed to say that word out loud. Oop. Let's go with maybe it's not abstracts this time. Maybe it's just us. I'm kind of liking super nihilistic, Howard. I'm rolling with that. Yeah, but what the hell are they? Aliens? Something New Genesis cooked up? Doesn't matter, right? They show up, PID takes them out, and everyone pretends that's enough. But it's not. Not even close. PID doesn't ask questions. You know, we asked questions, and the rest of PID was not seeming so on board with that. Yeah, you know what? You don't need me to tell you the answer to that. She knows what's up. You worked with the PID. You must have seen things. You really don't know what they were either. Oh, interesting. So it's worked with, must have seen things. So we do appear to be no longer with the PID. Good. ACAB. Let's see. Nobody knows. No. Let's just say I've seen enough to stop asking that question. Let's just go with the good, simple no. That's what scares me. The PID doesn't know. What the hell are the rest of us supposed to do? Howard doesn't respond. His glass is fixed on the glass in front of him. His glass is fixed. His eyes fixed. The silence between them stretches, heavy and unanswerable. Yeah, you know what? Let's just let her statement hang. What the hell are the rest of us supposed to do? Howard leans forward, his elbows resting on the counter, staring blankly at his glass. The bar noise fades, the hum of the TV dissolving into a background whisper, until all that remains is the hollow silence of his thoughts. And then they start. Been here before, haven't you? Sitting in the quiet, pretending it's peace? It's not. It's avoidance. Hayward, my man! You're staring at that whiskey like it's got all the answers. It don't. Trust me. I've tried. Stop. You say something? Ask her for another drink. Something fancy. A cocktail with one of those little umbrellas. That'd cheer you up. Yes, because a man brooding over suicides absolutely screams Mai Tai. Great suggestion. Shut up! He doesn't need this crap right now. The voices clash like storm clouds rumbling in his skull. Shut the fuck up, all of you. A few heads turn, giving him that familiar look. Another guy losing it after too many drinks. Then, as if the universe had been waiting for the right moment, the door to the bar swings open and a figure steps inside. Howard's head lifts. His eyes narrowing, his boots scrape across the floor, loud and deliberate. The sound is sharp enough to cut through the haze in his mind. Reynolds. Officer Reynolds. He locks eyes with Howard, his expression coiled tight with urgency. Without hesitation, he crosses the room. Shouldn't you be out flashing that badge of yours somewhere? Reynolds pulls out the stool next to him, sitting with a sigh. Alright, let's see who these people are. Alright, tell us more about the bartender. The woman behind the counter at the Crow Jazz Bar, immune to Howard's flirting. She's seen worse than him, served worse than whiskey, and walked away from worse offers. Still, she's there the next morning, wiping down the same counter, watching the same city fall apart. And Officer Reynolds, a long-serving police officer and Howard's oldest friend, reliable, methodical, and one of the few people Howard still trusts without reservation. In a city full of compromised people and shifting loyalties, Reynolds remains a rare constant. Yeah, alright. Been flashing it all day, chasing leads that go nowhere. Thought I'd try something smarter. And that brought you here? So you came to a bar, huh? Yeah, say what you want, but you're still the guy people call when they run out of better options. Take that as a compliment. Alright, sure, this is about stolen rubber ducks? I got an alibi. Why me? Don't you have a whole department for this? A cab. I think I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, let's go with the not interested in police business. Think I'm here because I want to be? Because I haven't tried everything else first? That's what they pay you for. He reaches into his coat and pulls out a thin folder, tossing it onto the counter between them. The edges are frayed from overuse. NVPD put me on this months ago. Suicide spiking all over the city. No patterns? No leads. Autopsies come back clean every damn time. You've dealt with this kind of thing before. You know what the rest of us don't. Howard's tone hardens, his hands tightening around the glass. Don't bring up the PID. Walked away from this crap for a reason. Yeah, Brass would love to hand this to them. Let the Golden Boys swoop in, take the credit, and leave us scraping crumbs again. I'm not letting that happen. He nudges the folder closer to Howard, his eyes locking on him. I'm here because I want this solved before they catch the scent. I need your eyes on this, Howard. Don't make me beg. Here we go, detective. This could be the case you've been waiting for. You've been drifting for too long. A case like this could be your way back. Back to the work that mattered, back to being the person you once were. Think about the doors it could open. One of the ones it could slam shut. Haven't you learned yet? Every time you touch one of these damn cases, somebody ends up dead, broken, or missing. Usually you. Tell them to get lost. Big mystery, big detective, big reward. That's how this works, right? Saw it in a movie once. It's not about the dice or the reputation. It's about the people. Someone out there needs help, and you have the skills to make a difference. You know that's right. You know... They all got good points. They all got good points. You know what? Why don't we take it a little slower and we'll go with the fine. I'll take a look. No promises. Alright, new quest unlocked. Smoke shadows and body bags. Check your quest log. The hunt starts in 5, 4, 3. Alright, you pulled them alive from the fire. She began with nothing but the heat in your hands. Now it's up to you to define what she becomes. And smoke shadows and body bags. Head back to the office to dig into the case files and connect the dots before the trail goes cold. Alright. Time to talk about the junk in your pockets. Items bend the rules of skill checks. Some boost you, some sabotage you, and some are just plain weird. So yes, I did see that this was there, giving us a boost to that last thing we did. Okay, so yes, we do have passive items. Yes, when a relevant skill check happens, automatically appear in the upper right panel. So that's where that one appeared from. Got a perception bonus, rolling perception. Congrats, the item shows up, does its things. Single-use items are your panic buttons. Use them to stack bonuses on a difficult roll, then kiss them goodbye. To use one, drag it from the left side into the lower right item slot before you roll. You'll remember these right after the roll fails. Got it. Okay. Okay. What do we got? So yeah, here are our beautiful dice. So yeah. Okay, so effect +1 to all checks. We've got a gun. We got a flashlight. I like it's taggy. That's cute. Is that a little wrist strap? Delightful. Alright. We do have our sweet, sweet cigarettes. We got our sweet, sweet matches. We got a little bit of a phone. A Daily Rocker's newspaper. And our case file. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. I knew I could count on you. There's one more thing. Thought you should hear it from me before it gets twisted through the grapevine. DK's father, he's dead. Jumped off the top of a PID research wing 2 months ago. Data Kraken. Yeah, whomst? DK. Howard's ex, for reasons neither of them would explain the same way, and a highly skilled nether finder. Expert in ghosting identities, breaching secure systems, and tearing useful truths out of protected networks before Howard even finishes a nether puff. Shit. Yeah, don't know if you two still talk, but figured you should know. He adjusts his coat, tugging the collar up as though bracing for an unseen chill. You know where to find me. Don't take too long. The door creaks open. A gust slips in, then shuts with a thud. Howard leans back, eyes on the folder, heavy with the promise of trouble. Alright, +4 dice, +1 experience. The city's silence offers no applause, but it knows. You've earned this. Alright, let's see if Nether Vale is still worth saving. Spoiler alert, it's probably not. It is. Howard grabs the folder, nods to the bartender, and steps out into the rain. The city greets him like it always does. Cold, wet, and sick of his face. Alright, neon burns, shadows bite. Welcome back to the Gutter Detective. You know these streets better than your own reflection. Let's see if you still got the chops. Alright. Glide the map around. Double click anywhere for hyper skate mode. Open spots glow with icons. Click the icon. Howard Autopilot's there. Sit back, enjoy the ride. One visit ain't enough. Places change every visit. Come back later. Might not look the same. New dice, new loot, new danger. Alright. Let's zoom out. Alright. There we got Teckle. Our office is where we're headed. The statue. Jazz bar, obviously where we are. Reynolds' house and propaganda poster number 4. Sure, let's go visit propaganda poster number 4. Howard's comic vibrates in his coat. A low buzz. It has no business showing up at this hour. Checks the screen. Incoming call. DK. He freezes. 3 years. 3 years since the fight. Since I never want to see your wreckage again, Howard. Not a word. All this time. She's calling now. It's life or death. Or it could be a butt dial. No, pick it up. Howard, it's me. Look, I wouldn't call if it wasn't bad. I don't know what to do. I need you. Please. She's scared. More than scared. Genuine terror. The line clicks off. A location pin appears on the screen. Scarlet Needle Tattoo, Maglift District. You don't get to pretend you didn't hear it. The alley suddenly smells of her perfume. A ghost memory he thought he'd buried. Let's see. Yeah, so there it is over there. I do want to continue to propaganda poster number 4. That was my plan. An ugly poster ideologically spits in Howard's face. It celebrates a battle it won against everyone else. Together, never veil. There's no above nor below. There's only us. Your sacrifices have paid for the future. Progress is not an option. It is certain. We reported the doubters, snitched on the naysayers, and built the city of tomorrow. The sky is now in the hands of those who deserve it most. You do not live under Nether Vale. You support it. Throughout the construction of Nethervale, minor but coordinated sabotage efforts were repeatedly recorded. Log acts included sugar poured into wet cement, contaminated water supplies, acid exposure, severed brake lines, sand introduced into fuel systems, and repeated cargo manifest disappearances. Small acts, repeated often enough, they become a pattern. Repeated everywhere, and they become resistance. Vandalism, yes. But when the only tools left to you are sugar and sand, when the law is the weapon being used against you, is it still wrong to blunt its edge? And the corpos in the state did what they always do. Stirred the shit, stepped back, and watched people rip each other up. Public reporting campaigns were introduced during the final construction phase. Rewards included alternated units, home entertainment systems, and boosts. Snitch for a prize. Betray your neighbor for a new toy. Same old fucking filth. You should have read the fine print. With corpos, the gift is only there to distract from the cost. Howard steps back into the dark. The poster stays where it is. Proud, as if betrayal were just another building material. Alright, let's go save our ex-girlfriend. Zoom! Streets here are quieter. Not peaceful quiet. Predatory quiet. Howard stands across from the studio, half lit by a flickering neon sign, Scarlet Needle, buzzing red like it's bleeding light. Are you ready to see her again? A guttural moan tears through the silence. He isn't, but we have bigger problems. He pushes inside, gun instinctively half-drawn. DK turns. Her eyes lock onto his. Wide, stunned, tears streaking down both cheeks. Behind her, a girl crouches on the floor, body convulsing. Blood spills from her lips, but it's the arm that draws the eye. Etched into her forearm, the ink isn't sitting on the skin. It's burrowing, coiling, thrashing, trying to digest her radius. Let's see. Tell me what happened. One hell of a 3D effect. Where's the artist? Panic helps no one. Stabilizer first. What were you thinking? Yeah, let's go. Panic helps no one. Stabilizer. She wipes her face and nods, trying to steady her voice. Yeah. Okay. Focus. Help her, please. Yeah, who is she? My girlfriend. Yara. I can't lose her, Howard. Howard steps closer. The skin squirms under Yara's skin, like it's being pulled from inside. Let's see. Yeah, we could... The spectral sight on seems like not a bad concept. So the clean geometric tags that usually cage an abstract, the pattern beneath Yara's skin flickers like a corrupted signal. Yara's arm spasms as the thing burrows deeper, avoiding the green overlays like they burn. Interesting. Yeah, let's spend some dice on this. Ooh. We got different dice. Bureaucratic dice, +1 total. Or we have this one catastrophe die, -6 to your total. So I guess, yeah, let's roll 2 of them. Surely we can pull off a 4. Oh, we'll pull off 11, which will be more than enough. Howard slips on a latex glove. He rifles through the spilled ink caps, needles, and used tissues. There, sitting amidst the filth. That doesn't look like tattoo equipment. His fingers close around a heavy brushed chrome cylinder. A PID containment vial. Interesting. How did this end up here? Alright, let's take it. Take Yara's hand. Speak gently. Try to reach the abstract. Howard kneels, taking Yara's shaking hand. His gaze drills into the writhing ink devouring her skin. You got a permit for that meat suit? Yeah, I know some of you understand words. Withdraw now and we negotiate. Thing doesn't answer, but she does. Her voice slips out between clenched teeth, every word soaked in pain. I shouldn't have come here. I just thought maybe a fresh start would help. Veins of black ink shoot violently up her arm, seizing her shoulder. Howard, stop! You're making it worse! Stupid. I ruined everything. I'm sorry, Dee. Blow the arm off, save the rest. Alright. Yeah, let's figure out what is causing the growth. Because yeah, there does seem to be like a pattern to it. We only need a 4, so why don't we use one of these bureaucratic dice? I think that'll be enough, right? Unless it, like, totally fucks. Yeah, perfect. It spikes every time she talks about herself, the guilt. That's what it feeds on. Her regret fuels it. Ooh, we're gonna use a lot of dice on this, aren't we? Alright. Tell DK to make her recall a memory she doesn't regret. Sure, I'm gonna roll one of these again. Whoo! Oh yeah, plus our bonuses help. Howard locks eyes with DK. She hesitates, then cups Yara's face, forcing her gaze away from the pulsing ink. Yara, look at me. Remember the protest? When you threw that brick through the new Genesis limo? Thing slows, draining inward like it's listening. Felt good. I'd do it again. Damn right you would. It was fucking glorious. Alright, it's weekend. Use a sterile needle to puncture the ink and drain it. Howard reaches for a sealed needle from the tray. He grips Yara's wrist, twisting her arm into the light. Punctures the tattoo at its darkest knot. The abstract gives away instantly. It rushes out, thick and iridescent, defying the viscosity of normal ink. It coils around the steel needle, desperate to leave the host. Sure. Guide the flow into the containment vial. Seal it. Howard positions the vial beneath the needle. A thick strand snaps free and drops into the vial with a wet sound. Then another. Howard tilts the needle, patient, forcing the flow. The rest of it slides down in slow, reluctant ribbons, pooling inside the vial like spilled oil. He screws the cap shut, trapping the abstract, and slides it into his coat. Alright. Thank you, Howard. Seriously, I didn't know who else to call. Sure. Let's go with don't mention it. He turns to leave, but she grabs his arm, a quick, desperate squeeze. Her hand is warm, familiar. Hey, you know where to find me. Don't be a stranger, okay? Howard looks at her hand, then meets her eyes. There's 3 years of heavy air between them, but he's too tired to clear it tonight. He gently pulls his arm away. Take care, DK. Alright, you fixed what you could. He pushes out to the Maglift district. The rain has started again. Cold iron water slicking the streets. Howard stops under the awning. He cups his hands and lights another puff. The smoke fills his lungs, hot and gray. He lets the burn settle in, searing the ghost of her touch back into the dark where it belongs. Hell yeah. What's Teckle? Teckle's interior is crammed, not designed for human comfort, but maximum efficiency. Dozens of spider-like drones skitter across walls and ceilings, pulling packages from grid-lined shelves and zipping out through a revolving delivery chute. Behind the counter stands an alternated. The humanoid chassis is statue still, head drooping slightly like it's asleep, standing up. From its chest speaker, a tinny chaotic sound leaks out. Pew, pew, bzz, boom. Reloading. Plank left, you idiots. Left. You winning, son? Not a drone. The alternated jerks violently. The war sounds cut out instantly. Its head snaps towards Howard, lenses spiraling as they focus. Whoa, what the? You actually walked here? On the street? Physically? You insane or just stupid? Needed the fresh air. Fresh air? Air coming out of my apartment vents tastes like recycled sweat. Still better than becoming a smear on the pavement. Yeah, sure. What we got for sale? Alright, physical man. Here's the inventory. Make it quick. A mid-match. Rage 2. Anger issues reroll. +1 virtue. Single use. Intelligence reroll. +1 foolishness. Passive modifier. Ocular drops. +1 perception. Single use. I'm done here. Alternated immediately loses interest. Its head snapping back towards the invisible screen only it can see. Whatever. Howard turns back to the neon-soaked street. Behind him, the pew-pew noises immediately start again. Alright, I guess we could do something crazy and go back to our office now. Zoom. Zoom, zoom. Digging deeper. Listening to some little bloop bloop noises. Ring clings to Howard's coat as he steps inside. Case folder mocks him from his desk. Beside it, a mug of coffee sits cold and neglected. Oh, it sounds like my coffee. That coffee's been sitting long enough to make friends with the desk. Don't think it's gonna do you any favors now. He lifts the mug, tilting it slightly and watching the liquid swirl as if the answers might float to the surface. You know what? Drink it. Have it over taste. Let's do it, buddy. Ah. Howard lifts the mug to his lips, the bitter cold liquid scraping against the back of his throat. Does nothing to clear his mind, but it fills the silence for a moment, grounding him in the here and now. Every file is a life undone, echoes of choices. You owe them. The longer you sit there, the colder the trail gets. Open the folder. Start with what you know. Howard pulls the folder closer. Inside, a jumble of photos, reports, and scribbled statements wait to be sorted. We can check our horoscope for guidance. We could be a little virtuous. We did a little bit of virtue in that last quest, so why don't we get a little virtuous right now too? Howard lowers his head, closing his eyes in quiet reflection. A silent prayer forms in his thoughts, a gesture of respect for the lives lost and the questions they left behind. Alright, we're coming up hot on having to run Twitch ads, so why don't we run those now, and then we'll dive into the file. See what we got going down. See what we got going on. Right. May they find peace. When he lifts his head, a calm determination takes hold. Compassion is its own kind of experience. Turns back to the folder, ready to uncover the truth behind those senseless deaths. Alright. Guess we'll just start from the top. Examine the Izo Ogura case. Pulls out the Izo Ogura file, flipping it open. A mess of reports, photos, and dive logs spill into the desk. Alright. Let's read the witness statement, you know? Seems like a good place to start. The neighbor's statement is cold and empty. Lived next door to Ogura for a while. Didn't have much to say. Kept to himself. Never caused trouble. Maybe the witness didn't care. They were choosing their words carefully. Last time I saw him, no idea. Maintenance went in after his rent auto payment failed. Door was still locked from the inside. Alright. Then what were we dealing with here? Howard lifts the grainy photo. Ogura slumped in his chair, neural bridge still clamped on. Cables thread into his approval. A half-eaten nutrient paste rests nearby, smeared across the desk. He was mid-bite. Something cut him off fast. Alright. Izo Ogra, 32, independent nest finder, lived alone. No registered family or emergency contacts. Finances stable, no debts, low profile, and a clean record. Just another ghost in the system until he wasn't. Autopsy says what he expected. Self-induced neural overload. No signs of struggle. One thing jumps out. A crumpled note in Ogra's pocket. He said it would help. That I'd feel lighter. Trusted him to fix me. Now I don't know what's left of me. He trusted someone to fix him. What if they did? What if this was the result? Think of your own failures. Try to detach. You got played. End of story. Let's try to detach. Let's not get too embroiled in ourselves here. He leans back, eyes unfocused, just ink on paper, just a case, just data. But the words still echo. The log shows Oguro running a recursive scan of his own neural archives. Accessing sensory logs. Foreign signature detected. Data fragmented. Unrecognized encryption. Running bypass. Neural feedback surge. Emergency terminated. User forced shutdown. Howard frowns. Oguro was digging through his own mind. The session ends with a self-termination. No external triggers. Howard closes the file, every detail of Izo Ogura etched into his mind. Alright, examine the Serena Coast case. Corporate executive for Ectovision died after jumping from the balcony of her luxury high-rise apartment. Alright, well, here, we got security footage. Flips to the security report, eyes moving over the transcript. Her balcony railing is low, barely waist-high, easy to climb, just as easy to trip over. 2:14 a.m. Serena Kos walked onto her balcony, stood motionless for 6 minutes and 32 seconds. Then she stepped forward, calm as a sleepwalker. One detail catches his attention. Incoming comic call. Caller ID unknown. 2 seconds later, subject steps forward. Someone reached her at the last second. Whoever it was, they didn't try to stop her. Serena's body lays contorted, hips dislocated, limbs twisted beyond human limits. Her shattered skull spills brain matter across the pavement, smeared like something crawling in its final moments. Howard's stomach knots. Howard flips to the autopsy report, looking for anything unusual. Cause of death is obvious. Blunt force trauma from a high-altitude fall. Injuries are exactly what you'd expect from that kind of drop. Nothing more, nothing less. Howard scans the report. Household assistance, a maintenance bot synced to her approval, logged biometrics 24/7. Routine vitals? Steady. Except at 2:20 a.m., serotonin spiked to lethal levels. No physical trigger. A neighbor's statement. She stood out there for hours. Even in the rain, she wouldn't move. She liked the wind, said it made everything feel lighter. Howard set the file aside. Serena Kos isn't leaving his head anytime soon. Alright, and examine the Atelis Gorvez case. Howard flips open the file, scanning the first few pages. Atelis Gorvez, tech doc, found dead in his workshop. Sure, examine his personal notebook. Howard picks up Gorvez's worn, grease-stained notebook, its pages crammed with repair logs and client quotes. Routine until the final entries. Ink blotted. Letters slanting wildly as if written mid-tremor. Last page, bottom corner. If it happens again, I have to tell someone. Did he tell someone? Comic logs reveal months of calls to a private line. Same clipped exchange. Same time tomorrow? Unknown. Progress takes consistency. Sounds like regular appointments, but for what? Howard picks up the first photo. Gorvez is slumped in the corner of his workshop, his lips blue, fingers frozen mid-claw at his throat. A trail of dried blood streaks from his nostril. The workbench nearby holds a half-assembled boost, tools scattered. and an overturned biogel vial, its residue hardened like glass. He died mid-repair, no signs of a fight. Howard flips through the autopsy report, focusing on the key details. Nothing unusual stands out. Howard lowers the file, turning the details over in his head. +1 experience gained, pulled from ink-stained papers and sleepless hours. He leans back and rubs his eyes. Hours of reports, interviews, and autopsies later, the case still refuses to make sense. Rain crawls down the window in uneven trails. For a moment he listens to the city, to the hum of things moving unseen. His fingers tap against the desk, slower now. He needs another angle, someone who sees things differently. If only she were here. She always knew where to start. His limbs grow heavy. The words on the files blur together. Just a minute. He just needs a minute. The rain whispers against the glass as his head dips forward, hitting the desk. Sleep drags him under. Oh, we moving. Whoa. Oh!
Howie. You're tired, right? I can play with the pieces. You're gonna fall anyway. The dream is an interface.
It's leaking again. No more processing, no more waiting. We act now.
Ooh.
And yet we endure. Because we must. Otherwise, there's no difference between us and the ones we fight.
Good point, Virtue.
The way his thoughts circle, never landing. He knows what's there, he refuses it. He's lying to himself.
Or maybe the mind stirs only when the body finally falls asleep. Alright, questions and answers. Next morning. A dull ache settles in Howard's neck, the kind that comes from falling asleep in the wrong place. Stiff leather of his chair hasn't done him any favors, and neither has the pile of paperwork serving as his pillow. Then, a knock. Howard stirs, blinking against the grit in his eyes. His brain claws its way out of a dream and collides with reality. Then another knock. Louder. Someone's begging for a broken nose before breakfast. Yeah, unless you got coffee, piss off. Howard's voice comes out rough, still thick with sleep. Silence stretches, almost long enough to make him think they left. Then, Rose's familiar voice cuts through, dry as ever. Alright. I feel like we've picked up several of these we should probably read. Alright, remote-controlled shells manufactured by New Genesis. Operators jack in from their couches and pilot them through the city. They work, deliver patrol, and take the hits so their owners don't have to. Yes, Nethfinder, an expert who infiltrates secure networks, bypasses advanced encryption, and extracts data from restricted digital layers. Much like the hackers of the past, they exploit the vulnerabilities of the Neth. Through the stakes in the Nether Veil are often physical as well as digital. High-level practitioners often use gangbang boosts for direct interfacing. Alright, Oracle Rose. An oracle and somehow a talking flower, gifted with psychic sight, Rose sees glimpses of possible futures. An ability triggered only when submerged in ice water, a sensation she strangely craves. Fragile enough to need Howard to carry her through the city's decay, strong enough to make sure he doesn't lose his decay. A street-level term for a doctor who works in both flesh and machinery. A city where boost implants and nervous systems are often too entangled to treat separately, a tech doc handles the damage ordinary medicine cannot. Teckle, a small automated convenience store designed around efficiency, minimal human presence, and constant drone-assisted restocking. Customer interaction is usually handled by an alternated behind the counter. Alright. Caught up. If I had coffee, I wouldn't be wasting it on you. Howard exhales, running a hand down his face. So much for a quiet morning. Let her in, you need the help. As Howard opens the door, he's met with a sight he wasn't prepared for. Standing before him is a man built like a tank, his neon green hair clashing against the tight pink shirt stretched to its limit. In one hand, he grips what looks like a stripper pole, if stripper poles were designed for combat. In the other, he holds a bowl. Inside it, floating like some overpriced centerpiece, is Rose. Howard blinks, and again, still real. His brows knit together as he stares at the stranger. Is that my good salad bowl? You know what we're gonna go with? Not my weirdest morning. Close, though. The man offers no answer. He stares back with all the emotional range of a brick wall. Big guy quiet. Means he's shy? We should hug him. His silence is either tactical discipline or profound stupidity. Before Howard can decide how to handle this, Rose breaks the tension. Pick me up. Unless you want to solve this case with your head up your ass. Howard grits his teeth and does what he's told. The man adjusts his grip on the pole and starts down the hallway, never once acknowledging the conversation that just happened. Yeah, what? Fresh bullshit was that? My Uber. Now shut the door. We've got corpses to dissect and egos to bruise. Howard drops onto his chair and sets Rose on his desk, right next to the open case files. Got 100 frickin' questions about that guy. Is that really a stripper pole he was carrying? We'll meet him again, Howard. Mr. Mystery can answer your questions later. Now, the case. Tick-tock. Howard's eyes drift back to the files spread across his desk. Hate it when the only witnesses are corpses. Don't even ask. Oh, come on, Rose. You can talk to them. You have before. No, absolutely not. I'm not your Ouija board. Give me another option. Files are dead ends. You think I enjoy digging through the dead's memories? It's not a party trick, Howard. It hurts. Alright. They're screaming. If we don't listen, who will? I'm done asking. Or alright, I won't ask again. If it hurts, we'll find another way. Ugh. Sure. And we won't cause pain. That's uncharacteristically gentle of you. Howard leans back. The files glare up at him. Then, something clicks. Without a word, he pushes himself to his feet and heads for the kitchenette, essentially a closet with a sink and a freezer, humming like a dying alternated. Alright, no graveyard channeling, but we're not completely out of tricks, are we? He yanks the freezer open and wrestles out the ice tray. He slams it onto the counter, the frozen cubes cracking apart under the impact. The ice water vision. Might get us something. He drops the ice into a glass, fills it halfway with tap water, and sets it in front of her. Now this I don't mind. Freezing clarity, my favorite flavor. She drops in with a soft plop, her stem shivering with delight. Still, it tastes like frost bit into something dead in there a long time ago. But compared to a graveyard, it's vintage champagne. If you see a sandwich again, I'm composting you. There not be another dead end? Yeah, let's go focus, Em. Focus, Rose. Those people deserve answers. Says the guy who still thinks Answers is a brand of whiskey. Quiet. It's starting. She goes quiet. The sarcasm fades. Her petals fold slightly inward as she closes her eyes. The water stills entirely, save for the ripples spreading out from her stem. I hear a song, a voice forcing alignment, absolute obedience. Tastes bitter, like blood. Is this a ritual? What is the voice saying? You know what, let her cook. So much blood, it's dark, and it smells like Eden core. Nobody wants to leave, like a ceremony or ritual. Her eyes snap open. She shakes herself off, shifting in the now lukewarm water. I got a feeling this mess leads straight to their doorstep. Wonderful. Another group of weirdos with terrible hobbies. Time to knock on the cult's creepy little door. Alright. Root and a boot. Chaotic Arbiter poster. Wooden bench. A cyber fetus fighting sign? Am I supposed to not click on cyber fetus fighting? Oh look, she's coming with us. Phew. Pre-birth gladiator league! Why wait 18 years for your kid to disappoint you? Get them fighting now! We extract the neural pattern, build the wireframe body, and let them tear each other apart in the womb sim. Winners get 25 dice, losers get deleted. Scan your fetus today. The ring is waiting. Cool. What? Let's go see Chaotic Arbiter poster. Oh, random encountered again! Sound of shattering glass tears through the static of the rain. It's sharp, violent, and close. Sure, what the hell was that? You sure that wasn't your stomach finally giving up on you? I'd be relieved if it were. Shame. I was hoping for a quiet walk and zero trauma. Howard stops, eyes narrowing as he scans the rain-drenched street. He locks onto the source. Cyber sashimi. Raw fish, raw nerves. Alright, we're going to our poster. Then we'll go to the sushi bar. Chaotic Arbiter, Dispute Resolution Specialist. Tired of fair fights? Sick of contracts to protect both parties? So are we. We are New Stratum's premier destination for alternative dispute resolution. We don't do peace treaties. We do conclusions. There's fine print at the bottom, but I can't read it. It's too small. Our services include dice-based arbitration, combat mediation, asset claim resolution, honor restoration packages, premium witness suppression. 50% up front, we take the rest from the other guy. Book the Chaotic Arbiter for your next dispute, because some problems are too big for a handshake. We could also stop by the Crow Jazz Bar. Take a little stop. There, let's go hit up the wooden bench. Howard lowers himself onto the bench and pulls Rose out carefully, setting him on her palm. The street is alive in that half-dead Nethervale way. Neon reflects in the puddles while broken ads buzz and alternateds pass by. Campaign drone drifts overhead, projecting a smiling face 10 feet tall. Your vote, your future. Howard's eyes follow it a little longer than they need to. That face bothering you? Or is this just another one of your quiet little existential episodes? Can't decide which part's more insulting, the smile or the promise. The smile. Definitely the smile. Promises are standard. But that face says it thinks you're stupid. Howard watches the drone complete another loop. Then he looks down at Rose in his palm. Want you to keep thinking your vote matters? No real system in this city. Just a bunch of interests crashing into each other and calling it government. Oh yeah. Yeah, People's Party could have every vote in the district and they'd still lose. Ballot boxes work for sponsors, not the people. Both quite good. Now let's go with just a bunch of interests crashing into each other and calling it government. That explains why nothing ever gets fixed. Guess it's easier to call the chaos a system than to admit no one's actually in control. That's politics, baby! I'm starting to see why you hate this city. Howard leans back and pulls another puff from his pocket. He rolls it between his fingers for a second before lighting it, eyes still on the street. People in charge like it that way. Broken cities are easier to control. Cities dying on purpose, keeps everyone scared. Or nothing changes because crises aren't meant to be solved. A fixed problem doesn't need a budget next year. That's my kind of poor outlook. So the disaster stays alive because too many people profit from it. Rose angles her petals toward the street. His words settle over the view and she sits with them, trying to understand how a city can work and still be this rotten. Why are you telling me all of this anyway? Yeah, because someone has to tell you before you start believing the smile. And don't worry, that thing's not winning me over. I've seen warmer smiles and alternatives. Howard says nothing. He just takes a long drag, smoke drifting into the wet night air. Thanks for telling me. Don't thank me yet, we're not done. He tucks her back into his coat pocket. The warmth settles against his ribs, and the city swallows them both again. Oh, good. That was a part of my, teaching her up quest. Alright. I'm going to assume that the manhole might be where I'm going for the main quest. Because it did. Because Eden Corp was where we were for that first quest, and we had to go way underground. So I'm assuming the manhole will be the place. But let's go see what that Cyber Sashimi side quest was. Yeah. Howard steps up to the broken window frame. Inside, the restaurant is a wreck. Overturned tables, smashed chairs, soy sauce everywhere. Ugh, that fish smell is assaulting my senses. If you pull me out, I'm holding my breath and pouting and filing a formal complaint loudly. Duly noted. Try not to pass out on me. Alright. What are we gonna do first? Yeah, let's listen carefully and focus on the voices. We only need to get a 2, so yeah, 1 die is surely more than adequate. Hell yeah. Howard leans closer, letting the ambient noise of the city fade as he concentrates on the sounds inside of Cyber Sashimi. Catches the muffled, agitated voice of someone inside, sharp and angry. The words become clearer as Howard focuses. Where the hell is it? The voice snarls, followed by the sound of something heavy being slammed onto a surface. I swear, if you don't hand it over, I'll carve you up like your damn sushi. Reynolds gets paid for this. Call him. Yeah, it doesn't sound supernaturally. Sounds like real cop concerns. Howard pulls out his comic, quickly dialing Reynolds. What is it? Outside Cyber Sashimi, something going down, place is trash, trouble at Hero's Joint, someone's dumb enough to try and rob the old man. Breaking and entering, sounds like they're redecorating with a sledgehammer. Yeah, let's go with something's going down, because we don't even know that someone's trying to rob. You know? A pause. The sound of keys clacking on the other end. Alright, I'll send someone to check it out. Howard kills the connection. Takes one last look at the shattered storefront, then turns his back as the distant wail of sirens begins to cut through the rain. Oh, quest handed off. The recipe heist. Not your scene anymore. Alright. So yeah, the manhole sounds promising since we had to go down before. Into the shadows. The manhole cover grinds back, screeching on the rusted edges. Howard stares into the drop. Dead black, cutting off the yellow glare of the street lamp. I'm not insured for this. Neither am I. He drops her into his pocket and grips the ladder. The smell hits immediately. Rotting meat, iron, the sour tang of infection. His stomach hitches. This is ridiculous. Crawling through filth for what? Swallow it down, detective. People are dying while you complain about your boots. The brick tunnel narrows, trapping the damp heat. Shh. Did you hear that? Howard stops. The echo of his boots dies out, leaving a new sound up ahead. Voices. A lot of them, chanting the same words over and over again. Yeah, you know what they're all about? I know that one. It's a nursery rhyme. Twinkle, twinkle, little corpse. Want the full verse? Alright. That's a lot. So why don't we just let him sing? We got a job to do. Chanting grows louder as Howard pushes forward. We went through a lot of dice on that tattoo side quest, so I don't want to... The air turns metallic, sharp on the tongue, like licking a battery. Stop. Not again. What is it now? We're being watched. I can feel it. Alright, we got wait, listen, trust your instincts. Scan for anomalies, trust the tech. Ghosts, creeps, anyone? Ignore it, we got enough ghosts in your head already. Let's see. Yeah, sure. You know what? Perception told us to stop, so we'll trust perception. Alright. So we need 6. We pull the 1. Why don't we roll these 2 and hope for the best? Whew. Alright. Howard holds still. A faint exhale echoes somewhere behind him. See? I told you. Something is following. Yeah, but hey, at least it's not someone trying to sell you insurance. It's a guy who's like, hey, I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Howard keeps his hand near his holster, refusing to look back as he forces his boots forward across the wet stone. The tunnel opens into a massive, low-ceilinged junction chamber. Right in the middle, a ring of guttering candles cuts a weak hole into the dark, lighting a stained stone slab and the shapes that move around it. Howard lingers in the shadow of the threshold, letting his eyes adjust to the dim candlelight. 6 mutilated silhouettes move around the slab. A legless woman drags her torso across the stone, her blackened thigh stumps leaving a slick trail of pus. Near her, a man with hollow, weeping eye sockets scratches symbols into the floor with skeletal fingers. Further back, the others sit flat against the wall, staring at the floor between their knees. Howard slowly lowers his hand from his holster. They are harmless in all the worst ways. Let's see. Here for information. Who's in charge? Start talking. I'm having a bad night. Which one of you is the cult leader? Don't want to interview the wrong guy. And reach for your weapon just in case. Here, you know what? We're just here for information. A hunched silhouette in the back shifts, stepping into the candlelight. The man has no jaw, just a gaping hole where bone and muscle should be. His tongue lolls like a dead eel, swollen and purpled. Before Howard can even process the sight, a hand grips his boot. He looks down. The legless woman has dragged herself right to his feet. What do you want from us? Focus. This is still an interrogation. Try to act like it. Oh, you remove your boosts. Why? Oh, opportunity missed. Oh, because we didn't listen to the chant. Yeah, we'll go with you, the leader. Gwen lets out a dry, rattling wheeze that might be a laugh. She tilts her head back, looking at Howard. Me? A leader? No, our leader's not here. She avoids the name, like saying it out loud might bring them here. Alright, you remove your boosts. Why? Every piece of corporate steel belongs to them. We took our bodies back. It was messy. But now, we don't owe them a die. She shifts her weight onto her blackened stumps. The pain reminds us we're alive. At least the agony down here belongs to us. You gave up all your boosts, but the dead I'm investigating kept theirs. Why? Ooh, opportunity missed. Interesting. I wonder what I... That's fascinating. Alright, does everyone make it through, or do some die trying? Some bodies are weak, some minds weaker. They break? They were never meant to be here. Alright. Anyone new join recently? Someone who vanished soon after. Who brings people here in the first place? People find their own way. You don't need a guide to find the dark when the neon above is burning your eyes out. Yeah, sure, anyone new? A pause. She glances towards the others as if expecting them to answer. They don't. People come, and some aren't ready. Some don't survive. And if they don't survive, what happens to them? Their weight is lifted, their offering complete. If someone here killed themselves, would you see it as a failure or an offering? Or you don't just bury them, do you? The ritual. Nothing we're doing is illegal. It's all allowed. We have the right. Walk me through it. What does this ritual actually look like? The machines are stripped away and melted down. We mix the scrap with gold. Then we pour the hot metal over the face. It seals the flesh, hardens over the bones. That is how the offering is completed. The mask becomes a door. Who makes them? Ah. Someone you don't need to know about. I'm done being polite. I saw the initials MI carved into the mask. We've not seen this mask. Oh, I get it. Super secret underground mask club. First rule, don't talk about mask club. I already spoke to someone who told me where these come from. I'm just checking to see if your story matches. Ooh, a little bluffy bluff. Alright, I'm here for a bluff. I'll spend 3 dice to bluff. Yeah. I'll spend 3 dice to bluff. Hell yeah. Why are you asking me? A long silence follows. She doesn't even blink, her milky eyes completely fixed on him. Magus Ivory. Where can I find Magus Ivory? You won't have trouble finding him. That's all I needed to know. Find Magus Ivory. He knows who's dying and why. Detective work actually paid off! Howard turns away, leaving the cultists stuck in whatever broke them. The sound of the rain hitting concrete grows louder with every step. By the time he reaches the surface ladder, the sewer is just a stain on his coat. Steps back into the rot he understands. Smoke shadows and body bags. Nothing here but ghosts. Another step deeper, and somehow forward. The rain, never truly gone, gathers strength again, drumming a steady rhythm on the pavement, soaking through Howard's coat. Steps under a scaffold, pulling out his comic. His cracked screen flickers to life. Time to make a call. Check when the bar will reopen. Alright, let's give Reynolds a call. Line picks up instantly. You got something. Nothing connects the cult to the suicides or the cults behind the suicides. Man, that is a big call to expect me to make right off. I don't think it's the cult. I think it sounds like it is a single person. And I don't necessarily think that it's this cult. Because the woman standing on her balcony, granted she was a CEO, but she does seem a little bit less connected to using boosts so much. And the doctor, granted, worked on them, but didn't seem so much. Plus, if he, was a doctor for boosts, why would he be all, fucking strip myself down to my human flesh? That just seems like bad business. Nothing connects the cult to the suicides. Yeah. Alright, sure. Maybe we're slightly better with DK now. 3 shrill beeps and her voice hooks on a line. No hello. Never a hello. Thornfield, I've got 5 tabs open, 3 alarms blaring, and a Neth note on fire. This better not be a social call. Yeah, I need everything you can dig up on Magus Ivory fast. Somebody woke up demanding today. Howard listens to electronic chaos on the other end of the line. Magus Ivory sounds like the kind of asshole who introduces himself twice. 2 minutes, don't wander. And just like that, she's gone. Regret not bringing an umbrella. Check your reflection in the puddle. Let the city whisper its sins. Compactor groans and spills its oily sick onto the street. Across the road, a hologram rasps. Upgrade your lungs, 20% off. Somewhere above, the drip, drip, drip of rusted pipes keeps time. Alright, we'll do a little smoke. Matchhead dies twice before the sulfur catches. Acidic smoke drags down Howard's throat. Tastes exactly how it should. Terrible. Comic buzzes. Sharp vibration dragging Howard out of the moment. The city doesn't wait. DK is calling back. Found your Ivory. He's an artist, quote unquote. Eccentric, rich, probably convinced he's changing the world. Tonight's shit shows at Crystal Tower. Invite only, retinal scans at the doors. Pure high-rise ego orgy. You've got a lead. That's more than most cases offer. Question is whether it's enough. Can you get me in? Already done. Spoofed your name onto the guest list. One thing though, it's a masquerade. You'll need a mask to get through the door. Alright, got any recommendations? Check your neural archive. Coordinates are in. Pinged a few places that should have what you need. Can I wear a paper bag? Call it expressionism. Alright, what's your recommendation for someone with 0 style and less dice? A different profession. Ouch! Alright, thanks for the help. Sent you some dice, by the way. Buy something that doesn't make me embarrassed to know you. Aw, thank you! That's my girl. You don't walk into a god's party wearing your real face. Alright. So we can spend an insight point. Good. These can change names. Right, so virtue can become true secret or moral perfect. Perception can become detailed detective. Ape, Giga Brain, and Death himself. Secret insights. Ooh. Perception has been doing right by us, so why don't we put a point onto perception? Move that up to sensory sharpness. Sensory acuity increases perceptual awareness, make it easier to discover and analyze hidden clues. Yeah, I was gonna say, I keep getting experience points, and I assume that those can go somewhere. Alright, so we have our neural archive. Oh, okay. So approval just renders you capable of getting augments, period. Alright, and then obviously, yeah, we got our spectral sight. So we do have space for more stuff. Broken dice! Hey! Oh, so we get +1 to spectral sight rolls with that PID vial. That's nice. Okay. So yeah, we got our +1 all, and so now we get a +1 to spectral. That's good to know. I wish I had noticed that before. Because I did skip on like 1 or 2 spectral sight rolls, because I was like, expensive. Alright. So Nethzine 14.08. Let's go to the statue. The statue's been here and we haven't done it. There it is again. Footsteps. Someone is following us. Yeah, let's duck into an alley and ambush the ambusher. Howard cuts a sharp corner into a narrow, trash-choked abyss. Abyss? Bypass? I just rearranged all those letters. He presses his back against the cold, wet stone and waits. The footsteps pause and turn him after him. As they pass, Howard steps out behind them. And that is why you don't follow detectives. Up close, the details resolve. The matte finish of an alternated chassis comes into focus, a remote-controlled shell. Its vocal processor crackles, then smooths out into a voice that's dramatic and colorful despite the tinny speakers. You can call me Nikki. I'd curtsy, but the servos in this thing are shit. Were you the one following me in the sewers? The sewers? Ugh, no, I have standards. That wasn't me. Sounds like you made a friend, though. Congrats! Alright, if you want an autograph, you could have just asked. Had a long night. Get to the point where I introduce your face to the pavement. Sure, let's go with that. Spicy! I like it! Maybe save some violence for the critics. I'm here because there's a certain theater to your misery. I think we can make something beautiful out of it. Great. Another one who thinks trauma is art. Point is, I was watching you for a while, and I want to talk. For real. Not through this thing. Let's meet. Face to real, sweaty, imperfect face. Alright, meet where? Make it public. Let's do cyber sashimi. Public, loud, plus Hero has a very sharp knife for anyone who gets out of line. Alright. Sure, yeah, what's the angle here? I'm a chronicler of weird shit. And you qualify. The way you move through this city, like you're dragging a ghost behind you. Alright, fine, I'll be there. Perfect, I'll see you there. No proxies. The alternator gives a jaunty two-fingered salute and steps back into the rain and is gone. A writer, huh? Great. Now you've got a fan. Next, she'll want your signature. Or your soul. Hard to tell with the artistic types. Alright. We were headed to the statue. Let's finish doing that. And then once again, back to cyber sashimi. Statue looms ahead, half swallowed by rain and neon. Right at its base, 4 dogs are tied together by a heavy black leash, knotted neatly around one of the statue's stone pillars. Dog. Who let the dogs out? I swear, if this is bait, it's the cutest bait I've ever seen. Oh, they're heckin' puppers, foolishness! Good job! Fully organic purebreeds, no mud on their paws, no matted fur. They definitely have an owner. Someone who took very good care of them. Haven't been here long. 10 minutes, maybe 15. Leaving them here was a choice. A calculated move to ensure they were found. Alright, check the perimeter. Howard steps back and scans the square. Windows, rooftops, alley mouths, reflections in the rain puddles. Nothing. Here we got Luca. Is that Macho? Miko? Hard to read it. They didn't leave them here to trap you. They left them here because they had no other choice. Alright. Hi, puppies. Howard approaches slowly. The small white and brown one stands, its tail vibrating like a metronome. The 2 massive black-furred beasts watch him with dark, intelligent eyes, but don't rise. One lying down comes a gentle sigh. It's a smaller dog with long, silky ears and sleepy eyes, as if disturbed from a nap. 4 purebreds, Jack Russell, King Charles Spaniel, and 2 Cane Corsos. He crouches and offers a closed fist. The metronome tail comes forward and sniffs his offered knuckles. Howard flips the tag. Okay, it was Miko. That you? According to the tail, it's either saying yes or trying to take flight. Howard moves to the long-eared dog waiting patiently. The dog barely lifts its head, long, silky ears drooping over the collar. Carlos. Finally, he rises and steps towards the two massive cane corsos. They don't move, but their dark eyes track his every gesture. He checks their tags in turn. Hera and Luca. There, tied to Hera's heavy collar, a black pouch. It drags slightly on her neck. Howard works the wet knot loose from Hera's collar and upends the small pouch onto his palm. A heavy handful of metal dice clatters out alongside a tightly folded slip of paper. He unfolds it. The handwriting is elegant but rushed. The ink is blurred in one spot by rain or something else. They're good dogs. I couldn't keep them anymore. Please, take care of them. He folds the note, tucks it into his coat pocket, and scoops the dice in after it. 10 dice! Woo! Payment for a responsibility you never asked for. Whoever left them here loved them. That's what makes this hurt. Yeah, we can't leave them here! I know, you have a terrible habit of trying to save things, but our apartment is smaller than that cane corso's head. Howard sighs, the sound lost in the rain. He looks at the four wet, expectant faces and reaches into his drenched coat. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you doing? He pulls out his comic. Oh, holy hell, I thought you were... Never mind. She lets out a sigh of relief. Okay, we do what adults do. We call someone... and beg. Let's see. He'll complain, he'll swear, then I'll say yes. If anyone can hide 4 dogs, it's her. Call Hero. Cyber sashimi is safe, and Hero actually cares. Sure, let's call Hero. Kitchen is closed. I'm literally locking the front door, Howard. Let's see. I need a favor, a weird one. Don't hang up. Oh boy, I can feel a headache coming on. The answer is probably no, but go ahead. What is it? I'm at the statue. Someone dumped luxury dogs in the rain. Okay. Good for you, man. Really. Now, can we stop talking so I can go home? I called because I need a safe place. Can you take him? He sighs. It's the sound of a man who wants to help but knows he shouldn't. Howard, you're asking costs dice I don't have and attention I can't spare. I'm sorry. I don't have the time, the dice, or the energy to do it right. Let's see. Yeah, come on. One night, warm floor, locked door, that's it? The line goes silent for a long moment. Damn it. One night. But not through the front. Bring her to the alleyway door, the delivery entrance. Hurry up before I change my mind. Alright, be there in 5. You won't regret this. Finally, somewhere dry. Come on, pups. Howard wraps the leashes tight around his fist. The 4 dogs crowd around his legs, a sudden warm weight of trust and confusion. He nods to the pack and steps out from the shelter of the statue. So many puppies. I don't know, a couple of cane corsos? That's a pretty sick, like, detective dog loadout. Howard moves through the rain. The rhythmic clicking of 16 claws on wet pavement becomes a strange, comforting percussion. Too many eyes, too many windows. 4 high-value animals means attention. Statistically, this ends badly. Statistically, this ends with Howard becoming a dog dad. The street narrows. They turn into a darker alley, and suddenly, all 4 dogs stop in perfect unison. Their heads tilt towards the same point. A rusted pipe, an intake valve leading straight down to the foundation. A frequency, a smell. Something is calling to them from that darkness, something we can't perceive. Before Howard can react, the dogs launch towards the dark opening with a unified, desperate force. The leash goes taut, yanking Howard off balance. The wet leather burns through his palm, then it rips free from his grip. Don't just stand there, do something! Chasing him! Howard lunges, his hand holding desperately around the thick neck of the trailing cane corso. He digs his heels in, using his whole body as an anchor. Luca doesn't stop. He twists with terrifying primal power. The leather strains, then gives way. Howard stumbles back, left holding nothing but the liberated collar as Luca vanishes into the dark. Silence rushes back in, filling the space where the barking should be. He looks down. Wrapped in his hand is the heavy black collar. The silver tag catches the faint light. Luca. Keep the collar. If we find him, you'll have it ready. Sure, what is Nethzine? A punk way to see the concrete. Because the fucking abstracts have leaked into the Neth? Yeah, spare me the eye roll. Thought it was a load of horseshit when I first heard it too, but then I linked up with W01, one of Vortex Bay's most hardcore Neth finders. Smelled like they'd been chain-smoking Ethernet cables, but you know how it is. Best Neth finders come from the ones who shower the least. They told me something's fucked up in the Neth. Zombie forums, threads nobody's necroed in months, deleted accounts, they're all crawling back. And everywhere it's the same shitty, creepy tone. Same obsession. Don't stop, never stop, just keep fucking running. W0 doesn't buy the Ghost in the Machine abstract bullshit for a second. They told me straight. This isn't a haunting, man. Haunting would be poetic. This is something else entirely. This is some high-level technical fuckery. The shit eating the boards is absolute brain rot. One post just said, "Locked at 350. We are not stopping. Not yet. They're always right behind us." Then this one. How'd they find us in the Black Forest? Look, either some brain-burned loser is writing a new tabletop RPG, or something in the Neth trying to skinwalk as human. Or maybe I just accidentally tripped into a net meth that smuggling ring's back channel. Also a possibility. If it's the latter, we're even more fucked. Only thing more dangerous than an abstract is organized stupidity. Hey, don't forget, just because we're punks doesn't mean we're junkies. I'm repping straight edge, bro. Oh, and before I forget, another post just hit the wire while I was scribbling this. This is the address where I'm sharing live updates from the Neth. Go dig through it yourself. Nethzine.com. Alright. We can't return to cyber sashimi yet. Cold, load-bearing pillar. Madam P's. Reflect. Rusty and hostile bench. Crystal Tower. Propaganda poster number 5. Well, here, let's, go to another bench. I assume this is where we'll do all of our talking to Rose. Ah! The barking! The sound tears through the wet signs of the street. A real, living, and surprisingly close sound. It's followed by 2 more frantic barks. Howard freezes mid-step, his hand instinctively hovering over his holster. Tell me I'm hallucinating. Was that a dog? You hear the wetness in the throat. Real lungs, real saliva. Impossible. In Nethervale, a dog is a breathing diamond. A luxury for those who live behind 10-foot walls. Follow it, pet it, name it, adopt it, become a dog guy. I'm gonna have to believe now that foolishness is just entirely fixated on dogs. The barking comes again, louder, a raw mix of fury and fear. Earth to Howard, you're doing that thing again? Staring at a wall while your imaginary friends hold a committee meeting? Can the voices vote later? We got a rare Nethervale event happening. Something alive is making noise. The committee has reached a verdict. Great. Did they sentence us to curiosity again? Let's move before the sound draws more than just us. I don't need you. Comb the air until I find it. Sure, let's roll, because we got hella dice right now. Woo! Alright. So we only need to roll a 3. So I think we can actually probably pull this off in just 1 die. You know? Just one regular die, I think, is gonna be enough to roll this. If it's not, oh well. Oh! Just barely, but we did it! Howard closes his eyes, tuning out the white noise of the downpour. Sparks are sharp and clear. originating from the direction of the statue ahead. Oh wait, this is out of order then. Coming from the statue, dead center. Weird, okay, so that was supposed to happen before we went to the statue, but okay. Anyway, continuing to the bench. Bench squats in the square like a sentence, handed down in concrete. It's heavy and rectangular, brutalist in that special way only something meant to punish can be. Steel spikes jut up from the seat, each one placed with the cold precision of a government form. This is a public bench only by technicality. Technically, public space belongs to everyone. Technically, we all know that's not true. Good luck sitting on that without a tetanus shot. Symmetry without mercy. Every spike placed exactly where a body might try to rest. This is design as enforcement. Public amenity engineered to repel the very people it pretends to serve. Bench should belong to the tired, the poor, the lost, not just those the city finds acceptable. He runs a hand along the rough edge of the concrete and feels the answer in it. The state does not need to shout when it can shape the world like this. The architecture functions without a badge or a siren or a written law. It's a slab of stone and steel arranged to tell the unwanted to keep moving. In the middle of a square that belongs to everyone, the architecture draws the line. Pew Pew's fun and gone! Alright, where was Madam Peas? Let's go to Madam Peas. The coordinates lead Howard to a faded storefront sandwiched between a black market approval stall and a noodle stall. And that's also the sound of Twitch wants its ad break. So let's take Twitch's ad break. And then come on back and enjoy Madam P's House of Pleasure. The flickering pink neon sign reads Madam P's House of Pleasure. A mannequin in a fishnet bodysuit slumps in the display window with a gag in its mouth and a sale tag around its neck. We're gonna need gloves. And a decade of therapy. We could turn around. You know. Maintain dignity. No, we need a costume, The air tastes like cherries and vanilla-scented disinfectant. Neon glows off shelves packed with latex chrome and products Howard refuses to examine too closely. Don't touch anything. Behind the counter stands a woman. Platinum curls braided tightly. 70, maybe 100. Augmentations muddy the math. She exhales cherry vapor from an e-cig tucked between yellowed fingers. Well, you're either lost, daring, or no, you're either lost, darling, or you're very ambitious. Ambitious is a strong word. Let's go with desperate. Desperate. Sweet cheeks. That's half my customer base. She reaches under the counter and produces a stim stick. A neon green tube labeled Instant Confidence. Lucky for you. I stock solutions. 3 puffs and you'll propose to a vending machine. 5 and you'll think you're winning a life. Tempting, but not quite rock bottom yet. Not today. You're lost, sugar. Just don't come crying when the vending machines stop flirting back. She flicks the stem stick into a drawer with her boosted pinky. The drawer hisses shut, sealing the almost bad decision inside. I need a mask. Most boring one you have. Boring, honey. This is a pleasure shop, not a tax office. But she ducks behind the counter and thuds down a rubbery red mask with 2 stubby horns and a zipper mouth. The sinister smoocher. I love it. We're wearing it. Yeah, is there a version that doesn't scream midlife crisis? You're looking at it. The zipper adds class. It does match that poster we were seeing before. No offense to the smoocher, but hell no. Hey, you're welcome back anytime, sugar. Doors don't judge. Next time, I'm picking the shop. Alright. Yeah, maybe not the sex mask. Unless we got no other choice. Howard places his palm against New Stratum's colossal concrete pillar. I need to touch something real in a city made of s'more. It's cold to the touch, rough, and every bit of its load-bearing. The thing stripped down to purpose so completely that it has become ugly. Then, for one impossible second, the dead concrete awakens. A presence runs through it. Load transfer, structural pressure. The whole upper mass is pushing down through this single vein of material and into the foundation below. It goes deeper than it can follow. Past the smog and nether veil into the buried arteries of the foundation. Layer upon layer of poured silence. No room for the useless little deviations that make a thing into something. Just purpose and utility. Just enough structure to keep the collapse from happening today. It's been reduced to function, same as us. I don't want to be function, detective. I don't want to exist only because I hold something else up. He pulls his hand away. The sensation dies. Concrete becomes concrete again. A whole city resting on a spine that was never built to care. Alright, what else? What else do we got? I think Reflect was also new. So maybe this will offer us a better mask. Storefront gleams like a jewel in a cracked street. Sharp architecture, controlled lighting, and a mechanical iris that shifts open when Howard nears. Inside, the air smells of jasmine and something too expensive to name. Shelves curve like sculpture. Each mask floats behind glass, turning slowly on velvet-lit pedestals. Howard feels like a stain on the universe's good suit. Behind the counter, a figure stands motionless, more alternated than person. Their mask is a chrome carapace molded into flawless human symmetry. As Howard steps closer, a soft click echoes from somewhere behind the mask as vocal synths power on. Welcome to Reflect, Mr. Thornfield. I am Face Curator. How may I assist you today? He knows our name. How? Standard for high-end retail. Custom service means custom surveillance. Alright, I need to blend in with Crystal Tower's circus. A chameleon, then. The glass pod slides forward, revealing a mask made of liquid crystal that shifts colors to mimic its surroundings. The Mirage, Latisse. This one meets your specifications, but consider alternatives. A subtle gesture. 2 more display pods detach from the wall with a hiss, gliding forward on anti-grav tracks. You do not rush decisions of this nature. You may choose when ready. Alright, +1 anger issues, +1 persuasion, and +1 perception. Maybe let's do the persuasion one. We gotta smooth talk. Alright, we can get rid of these broken dice. Sponsor dice, -2 total. Seems not good. I like how they're all like, beep, 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 beep. Let's just make sure. Catastrophe dice, I feel like maybe I should get rid of you. I'm like, do I want that for something? I don't know. I don't know if I want that for something. A fitting choice. Do send footage of its performance. The mask seals into a vacuum capsule. Howard takes it without a word. He turns and walks out. Outside, Nethervale remains exactly as he left it. Still hasn't changed its mind about him. Alright. Let's go check out another propaganda poster. And then we'll go into Crystal Tower. Propaganda poster presents its call to action, urging the citizens to autonomize themselves for the benefit of others, or else. We are all reaching the sky. We owe our livelihoods to the corporations that enrich us. Join the construction of Sky Breach and claim your new alternated. By accepting this contract, you waive your right to hold New Genesis liable for reparations regarding work-related incidents involving your alternated neurological complications and mental strain. The corpos kept climbing towards the sky like they were trying to escape the ground, escape the people. What was the hurry? And yes, they claimed reparations on the alternateds they handed out too. Alright, in we go. To the tower! Vale reimagined. Crystal Tower stands like a colossal pillar of arrogance, built 120 floors above the city's grief. Howard pushes through the towering doors. The lobby greets him with sterilized silence, all marble and menace. Retinal verification required. Don't blink wrong. Howard steps into the scanner ring. The retinal scan blinks a cold blue, then pulses green. TK's hack stuck. He's in. Welcome, Mr. Thornfield. Exhibition access granted. Proceed to elevator 6A. The elevator. A glass coffin wrapped in steel rockets upward. Below, Nethervale shrinks into a festering circuit board of neon. Too long since you crashed a corpo nest. The elevator doors part with a hiss. Howard steps onto ink-black carpet thick enough to muffle footsteps. A tall woman in a waxy bodysuit waits. Her face is painted porcelain white and her eyes are sewn shut with silver thread. Welcome to the Vale Reimagined. Please remain masked at all times. She holds out a small tray. On it, a single translucent soft pink pill. Your senses will betray you. Let them. Howard looks at the pill. Around him, doobie-doobie-doop-boo. The other guests don't hesitate. Faceless, nameless, already swallowing in unison like parts of a machine. To toss it into the air and catch it in your mouth like a beast. I am a little... Watch how the others react after taking it. Howard watches the masked figures around him swallowing their capsules. Their movements shift instantly, slow, as if pushing through thick liquid or drifting through a dream. One guest halts mid-stride, shoulders rigid, hands clawing at nothing. Another spins slightly off balance, arms parting for stability. Their pupils aren't tracking. They're blind. Every movement relies on sound and touch. Yeah, slip it into your pocket. No one said it had to go down. Howard shifts, casually palming the pill. But before he can pocket it, the attendant's hand snaps out. Gloved fingers clamp his wrist like steel cable. Compliance is not optional, Mr. Thornfield. A panel slides open on her forearm. A needle-tipped syringe punches out. No warning, no time to resist. The sting hits first. Then the warmth, slow and creeping, spreading behind his eyes. Within seconds, sight fades. Colors smear. Shadows melt until darkness. Absolute, suffocating, total. But the silence sharpens. Scents bloom in the void, thick and invasive. Almond, steel, sweat. Sound floods the abyss. Footsteps on carpet, breathing to his left, machinery pulsing behind the wall. Then, a voice, glass clear. This way. Turn left, touch the wall. Howard obeys. He follows the voice, every step a surrender to something unseen. A door hisses shut behind him, like a tomb ceiling. The sterile chill of the lobby dies instantly, strangled by wet, feverish heat that slaps his skin. Every breath tastes like something that shouldn't be swallowed. Muffled echoes circle him. Low, shapeless, impossible to place. Ooh, it is rough. Focus on the noise, it's low but there. But, do we not have a dice that was like +6? So we could use that lucky dice. Or we could just roll one of these with +4s. Because that gives us a +5, so we only have to roll a 1. And I feel like the odds are good on that. I'll take it. rotten lilies, curdled breast milk, overripe peaches bursting with magnets. And beneath it all, wet, fungal decay, like a coffin pried open after spring rains. Let's see. Howard gags. You're about to throw up, but it's just in your head. Hold it together. You're reacting to sensory manipulation. Suppress the urge. Here, let's just remember, it's all in our head. We are drugged. So we can get a +2. Let's roll 2 of these. Whew. A little closer, but we did it. Howard swallows it down. Thank God we rolled both dice. Howard swallows it down, barely. His throat burns, but he holds. The nausea lingers. Ugly, heavy, but contained. Alright, listen. The guiding voice has to be out there somewhere. Focus, cut through the noise, smell past the rot, and find your way. Yeah, let's do that. It's a little easier to roll for one thing. Oh, close. Whew. He steadies his breath, focuses past the hellish choir. There, just beneath the infant storm, something else. Soft, steady. A woman's sob. That's your lead. Howard moves towards the sound. With each step, the infant cries thin, the sobs sharpen. Words start to rise, then crumble before they reach meaning. Wait. Just walk. Let rage lead. Reach out. Take someone's hand. Hope they're going the right way. You know, let's go with the voice found you before, it'll find you again. It is our higher leveled skill, so I'm going to put a little bit of faith in it. Shuffling breath and footsteps passing by. No one speaks. No one's helps. The voice is gone. He could wait forever, and it wouldn't matter to anyone. Alright, sure, let's go where someone else is going. Howard reaches out. His fingers brush fabric, then skin. A hand closes gently around his. It gives a squeeze and begins to walk. And Howard follows, because the dark offers no better choice. The shift is sudden. The stink flips. No more milk and rot. Now it's burnt hair and charred flesh. The air dries out. The humidity vanishes. The exhibition is divided. Zones of scent, sound, and temperature. We've just crossed into a new one. A sound cleaves the heat. A woman's sob, thin, shuddering, alive in a way. It's unbearable. Whoever thought this was art deserves a broken jaw. Yeah, that cry, it's the same one. A moment surfaces without permission. A hallway, peeling paint, rain on a tin roof. Someone behind a locked door crying. A tremor starts in his hands. His throat locks. Tears burn like acid behind his eyes. He almost lets it out. Don't. They want this. They want you broken on their stage. Break something, anything. This place deserves it. Cry for art. Cringe, bro. I'm fine. He swallows the pain. Tastes like blood and salt and old grief. Then a spark in the void. Faint. Fractured strands piercing the blindness. His vision bleeds back in waves. He sees the sobbing woman. A sculpture, so real it almost breathes. Burnt hair fused to her scalp in brittle clumps, skin charred in patches, peeled back to reveal glossy flesh. She kneels. One hand covers her ruined face. The other rests on a glass dome where her pregnant belly should be. Inside the glass womb, a machine infant. Curled in perfect, terrible stillness. Metal limbs, hydraulic joints. We have spent a lot of dice. Oh, and that's rough. That's rough. So let's scan the room. It's free to do. Howard steps back, eyes sweeping across the exhibit. Masked guests drift like ghosts between the installations. No one's heading for the exits. Are they waiting for something? Shows like this usually end with a statement, a performance. MI has to be here. Or maybe he's blending in. With a mask, he'd be impossible to spot in this crowd. What if he's the guy with the weird shoes? No one real wears shoes that clean. Let's see. Act like a collector. Look for side doors or staff-only areas. Eavesdrop. Yeah, let's eavesdrop. Howard lingers near a cluster of guests, their voices barely above breath. Because, you know, this way we're not going to draw attention to us. Yeah. Last time he came through the wall. Heard the artist will. The sentence cuts off as the lights soften across the gallery. Then, a single spotlight ignites, sharp and blinding. The ground beneath the central exhibit splits. From below, a floating platform rises in silence. Atop it, a figure wrapped in a skin-tight black silhouette, one arm raised like a blade, the other lifted like a crown. M.I. has arrived. The hunt paid off. There he is, the man of the hour. The crowd's breath stills in unison, mass tilting upwards like sun-starved flowers. My beloved beasts of light, thank you for surrendering your senses tonight. You came to consume art, but true art consumes you. When the sight dies and you feel the architecture of despair, the texture of obedience, the symphony of dying neurons. He holds the pose a moment longer, then drops from the platform with a dancer's indifference and moves through the crowd, greeting each guest. He adjusts a woman's glove, tucking a dried cockroach beneath the cuff. From your childhood pantry, Michael. It outlived your father. Resilience! What is he doing? Next, he holds a conch shell to a guest's ear. Here, Beatrice, your mother's last voicemail, drowned. Listen to the bubbles. Why is he doing that? To another, a cracked microscope slide is placed gently in an open palm. For your daughter's grave, Militan. She dreamed in ultraviolet. There's no hesitation, not a name missed. He knows exactly who they are. The masks are useless to him. He might as well be glass. M.I. is 5 guests away. 4. 2. Then he's in front of Howard. I don't believe we've met, Mr. Thornfield. You tailored a gift for each of them. I assume you've got one for me, too. I didn't plan for you, but improvisation is half the art. He fishes into a deep inner pocket, pulls out a paper clip and 3 small dice. He drops them into Howard's hand. Not everything needs meaning, but give them one, and they might just play along. Howard remains stone still. M.I.'s theatrical veneer thins into something flatter, colder. The smile drops, his shoulders settle. You weren't on the guest list, so let's not pretend. The tone's no longer performative. This is the real him. Or maybe this is another costume. Stay still. Was it the art that pulled you in? A pause thick enough to taste. Or the parasites breeding behind it. Let's see. Yeah, we might need to talk privately. Give me 1 minute. One-on-one. Ooh, those are rough. Those are rough. But right, we do have a plus to our intelligent dice, don't we? Oh no, unless I don't have any more of those left. We got the platinum and the lucky, though. Oh look, our paperclip gives us a +1 to this too. Okay, let me drag these actually up. This is not a persuasion check, this is an intelligence check, so they're not using them here. I swear to God, did I not have one with an intelligence bonus? There it is. DK's dice. Alright. So we roll that. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna need to use our lucky dice then. We can roll a contemporary. It gives us +7. 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll need 5 more points. So as long as we get like 2 or 3 points from each dice, we'll be okay. Let's roll it. Let's roll it. Oh, plenty, plenty, plenty. MI tilts his head, intrigued. Someone with ears beneath the mask. Fine, you'll have your moment. He gestures towards the corridor behind him. The crowd parts instinctively as MI moves forward and Howard follows. At the end of the hallway, a seamless black wall blocks the way. MI places his palm flat against it. A pulse of light scans his hand and the wall splits open down the center. He steps through. Time to get answers. The usual interrogation. MI's private space is a jarring contrast to the sensory overload of the gallery. Cold, clinical, and brutally minimalist. Nothing but 2 chairs and a desk behind him. One chair faces a massive wall screen pulsing with real-time data from the gallery. That's where MI sits, eyes on the feed, already in his seat. Sit. You've got 5 minutes. Yeah, let's get a little closer. Close enough to steal my breath. Mold. Most people prefer distance. Let's see. People are dead. You know why I'm here. Let's not drag this out. A tragedy, I'm sure, but you mistake me for another artist. I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. See, we did not. Must be some other MI making ritual masks for corpses. Real common name. If you think signing my own work is suspicious, I'd hate to see your definition of art. I work with death, Mr. Thornfield, not cause it. Yeah, if they were cult burials, why were their augments still attached? Man, we really missed something big somewhere. When one of them dies, they call me. I go to the graveyard. The body's already in the coffin, stripped of everything except their approval. I melt gold and scrap boosts on site and pour it over the face. They believe it attracts the abstracts, that their bodies can become vessels. He looks at Howard, and for the first time, he seems genuinely present. But I've never seen a burial with boosts still attached. Never. He's not lying. The tremor in his breath gives it away. Whatever part he played, it wasn't murdered. Alright, someone is using your work, framing your art for their murder. Help me find them. I'm an artist. I appreciate when a performance has consequences, but someone using my work for their own ugly little play is a profound insult. He waves a hand, and a large screen shifts. Data flows in rivulets of light, timestamps, bank accounts, transaction logs. His fingers dance in the air, pulling a specific cluster of files forward and enlarging them. This doesn't make us friends. I need a copy. Gladly. He stares at Howard, expectant. I'll need access, Mr. Thornfield. He means your neural archive. High risk, because that is definitely seems to be where they're getting to and killing people. So I don't know, but maybe he showed us trust, and maybe showing him trust is the way. You know what? Sure, a little give, a little take, a little give. The cold, sharp sensation pricks at the base of his skull. The data floods his mind as pure information. It's invasive but clean. No hidden threads, at least none I can see. You've got quite the clientele. Anyone on that list ring a bell? Someone who stood out? MI falls silent. His eyes lose focus, staring at a point in the middle distance as he scrolls through an internal ledger of memories. There was one, a few months ago. A single request, but a big one. Can't recall the exact count. 20, maybe 30 masks. They contacted me through an encrypted channel, a synthesized voice. Paid up front all at once. The amount, yes, it was significant. More than I make from the cult in half a year. He gives a hollow, cynical laugh. Even artists have to eat, detective. Pay out that generous for a blind order. You didn't think to ask any questions? Alright, a drop point. Where'd you send 30 masks? That much dice doesn't move quiet. That'll do. If you're lying, I'll know. No, we definitely need more. Yeah, let's see. A drop point. There was no drop point. They sent a courier and alternated. Showed up right here. No paperwork, no conversation. Whole thing took less than 2 minutes. Sure, date of the order, date of the delivery. MI taps the air and the data on the screen scrolls rapidly before locking onto a single entry. Order came in on the 14th. Courier picked up the completed order on the 21st. The tight production schedule for 30 custom pieces. He must have worked around the clock. The client needed them in a hurry. Let's see. Voice said it was synthesized. Male, female, accent, anything distinct? It was a high-fidelity synth, neutral gender, with a cadence. It was precise, almost clinical. Didn't sound like a thug or a zealot. Sounded like someone who was used to giving instructions and being obeyed without question. We won't pry. You know what? I'm sure your intuition is formidable. I look forward to your next artistic interpretation. The world feels louder again. The rain, the drones, the neon. Finally! Thought I was gonna fossilize in there. Yeah, you lasted longer than I expected. You did good. Oh, thanks for the faith, partner. Really feeling the teamwork here. So, what do you think? Truth or performance piece? I'm not sure yet. I don't have any other lead. So, we'll kick it to DK? See what she can pull from the data? Yeah, she can follow the dice. Always leads somewhere. Howard taps his comm. The line crackles to life after a single ring. Report, and please, for the love of code, tell me the High Society art show was unbearably pretentious. Oh, worse, it was performance art. Sending you a data package from MI's records now. Need you to trace a bulk payment. Find the origin. The sound of rapid keystrokes fills the air. Ooh, this payment is a maze. I love mazes. On it. But seriously, was the art at least interesting? Just track it, DK. Spoil sport. Digging now. DK out. The line goes dead. So we wait. We wait, and we hope she finds something before someone else ends up wearing one of those masks. DK's tracing it. Your job here is pretending you're patient. Let's see if we can go to the sushi place now. Oh no, we can't. I think we missed a chance. Let's go to another bench then. Streets are empty. They should be. Only the desperate or the armed walk the pavement this late. At a crosswalk, waiting for a column of armored transports to rumble past, a flash of color interrupts the monochrome misery. It isn't a hologram. It isn't a glitching ad bot. It is paper. Wheat pasted onto a damp wall, curling at the edges. It reads, "Scream at the void! Live tonight at the feet of the statue!" Below it in jagged scrawl, "Beneath the ashen horizon." Last recorded public performance in Nethervale, 730 days ago. Band, Devoured Elysium. Context. Following abstract manifestations in high-density zones, public gatherings are classified as high risk and gradually dissolved. You're allowed to want this. Go. Stand with them. Remember, you're human. You know what? Let's go. Try not to drown in the mosh pit. Back to the statue, baby! So upset we can't go to the sushi place yet. Statue stands in the center, staring down at the concrete. The benches are empty, the windows of the surrounding blocks are dark. But the silence is being murdered. Two figures stand amidst a tangle of cables. A lanky kid hunched over a guitar and a rotund one buried behind a drum kit. No stage, no permits. Howard stands in the shadows expecting amateur noise. He doesn't get one. Good. Sounds like violence. Like teeth breaking. I like it. Sounds like us before the badge. Howard watches them play their hearts out to absolutely no one. They're sweating, eyes squeezed shut, pouring every ounce of teenage frustration into their instruments. They're good. Better than they have any right to be in this city. His foot taps, almost involuntarily. It's been years, but the instinct doesn't die. It is heartbreaking. All that fire burning in a vacuum. They aren't just playing music. They're begging the world to acknowledge they exist. Something's missing. I can hear empty space in the frequency. Low end, high end, but nothing in the center to hold it together. You're building the throne of sound, Howard, but no one is sitting in it. Sure, give them an audience. They deserve that. Howard steps in the pale wash of the street lamp. The guitar cuts out instantly, a choked squeal of feedback. The drummer freezes, sticks hovering mid-strike. Hey! Hey! We got an audience! Whoa! Hey, mister, you here for the concert? Saw the poster, promise screaming. You gonna play or what? Oh, we're gonna play, old man. We're gonna play until your ears bleed. Yeah, ear bleeding! But like, in a good way! The lanky kid puffs out his chest in a pose that screams rock star, but whispers nervous teenager. Tries to deepen his voice. So anyway, I'm Vermin Overlord. Rotund one. Entropy Devourer. Could be worse. I've heard dumber names on real stages. Real stages, huh? Guess we'll take the compliment. Enough talk. You want noise? We got noise. This one here is called Merhume. He stomps the distortion pedal. A wall of heavy sound slams the plaza. It's good. They build the throne of sound. But when the chorus hits, the music demands the voice. Vermin leans into the mic, veins bulging, ready to scream, then flinches. He mumbles a weak lyric that instantly dies under the crash of cymbals. The momentum snaps. Dude, you gotta commit! We talked about this! I can't, okay? It feels weird doing it in front of him. He gestures vaguely at Howard with his guitar neck. He's the audience! That's the point! You gotta scream at him! He looks at Howard, flushed with embarrassment and frustration. We, usually have a guy for the screaming part. He quit. Howard looks at the empty microphone stand. It's waiting. You got a lifetime of screaming locked in your throat, Howard. Maybe it's time to share it. You're not their front man. You're a detective. Don't mistake nostalgia for purpose. Yeah, don't look at me. Look at the statue. Scream at that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just a guy in a coat. That thing? That's the city watching you rot. Don't sing to me. Scream at it. Vermin turns his back to Howard, facing the monument. When the music hits the drop, he doesn't hold back. He screams. A cracked, desperate, furious sound aimed straight at the unfeeling copper. Howard watches for a moment, satisfied. He turns their stage fright into a riot, then slips back into the shadows. Rage needs a target. Now he has one. Alright. We got... Oh, no insight points available, but what? Still none of these secret insights uncovered. Secret. Secret. Did we make it to the bench? I don't think we made it to the bench. Let's go. Let's make it to a bench. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I wonder what the license music is like. Sad. Alright, here we go. Settles onto the cold metal bench. Massive mural covers the concrete wall. Depicts two alternatives, their mechanical limbs intertwined as they marry beneath a sun that doesn't exist in this city. Howard studies it for a second, then pulls Rose from his pocket. Are they... getting married? That's what the painter wanted it to be. I don't get it. Why would someone paint that? Let's see. Yeah, that's art. Doesn't need permission from either of us. So anyone can just decide something is art? That seems dangerous. What makes someone an artist anyway? Is it the skill? You know what? A point of view. If you see things the same way everyone else does, skill won't save you. So two people can look at the same thing, but only one of them turns it into art. Howard's eyes stay on the mural while the city grinds on around it. A siren starts and stops. A rat slips into a crack. Below, a magway train groans through the concrete. So, do you like it? Do you even care about art? You know what? I really do. I like it makes this place feel a little more alive. Before the thoughts can settle, a low electronic chime starts somewhere down the street, getting closer. The cleaning drone glides into view and stops in front of the mural, its red sensors sweeping slowly across the painted surface. Wait, they're not going to. The drone deploys its sprayers. Caustic foam hits the concrete. The couple's faces melt into a gray slurry, their joined hands running down the wall like black tears. Ooh, secret insight unlocked, the right wall. In a city built on cold steel and calculated silence, a blank wall is obedience in its purest form. To paint it is to declare war. When they try to erase it, all they really admit is that it reached the right wall. So that's it. Gone like it never mattered. I think I hate this city. They'll let the streets rot, but they can't tolerate a painted wall. Yeah, you're starting to get it. Yeah, loud and clear. The drone's red sensor reflects the wet slurry it just created. It hums a satisfied note, then glides back into the smog. Another machine completing a routine task. Can art actually change any of this? Yeah, not the city. People, maybe. Rose says nothing after that. Neither does Howard. He slips her back into his pocket, gets to his feet, and leaves the wet smear of the mural behind. Well, this is incredible. This is really good. This is like stupid good. So we will definitely be back with more of this tomorrow. Because this weekend Desktop Explorer is finally out.